I think I was always expecting after UTA the 22 it was going to be the next kind of step as far as the progressions of what I was doing and where I was at. It was a little bit of a step up from the training that I'd been doing. Doing a 22k with 1100 metres of elevation gain was always going to be another kind of stress on the body. But yeah, as far as kind of how it went and how I felt during and afterwards, it was all kind of to plan. And it's definitely been the roller coaster that I thought it was going to be. But yeah, to be completely honest, I thought I was going to sort of be further ahead at various stages through the recovery than what I've actually been at. Things have just taken longer. I thought I was just going to bounce back quicker. With this, a combination of the injury was kind of more serious than anything that I've had before, or whether it's just because I'm a bit older now than what I was when I had previous injuries. The whole sort of progression from, going from point A to point B has just taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
What you doing, Ellie?
First check-in for today on the long run, so I've just gotten to the top of the bridle path. So we've got Littleton Harbour just down behind me there, and then just up there is the Christchurch gondola.
Yeah, going from being injured, not running for such a long time, to then getting back running again. Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been sort of great in some ways, progressing from being at a certain point to then having another little milestone, but then at the same time you sort of get used to making small steps forward, and then there have been kind of times where there have been kind of step backs, or there have been kind of flare-ups and stuff. And so yeah, it's just been trying to be realistic and patient with everything, and also at the same time just sort of not waiting for something bad to happen, but just being okay with something bad happening or a setback, because that is all just part of the journey that I've kind of been on for the last little while. So yeah, it's just sort of taking things as they come, and then just trying to make sure that I'm doing everything that I possibly can to try and prevent things from kind of happening moving forward. And then also this whole kind of journey of the kind of pubis injury that I had, it's just taught me that I need to kind of focus and give more attention to other areas of my running.
An hour and 45 minutes on the nose, 13.1k, 916 metres of elevation gain, and I am ready for my second breakfast.
Yeah, mentally this has definitely been the toughest injury and the hardest kind of part of my running career that I've had to go through. Like, I've had other injuries before that felt kind of bigger or more serious, but I think just because of how long this injury put me out for, and also kind of when it's come in my career as well, there have been a lot of thoughts of, is this the end, in the sense of big dramatic, like, am I ever going to run again? I have had thoughts throughout this kind of whole process of like, am I going to get back to where I've been before? Can I still do this? And yeah, there's just been a lot of self-doubt sort of creep in about whether I'm going to be able to trust my body enough to train how I want to be able to train. And that's regardless of training for races. It's more just, I just love training. I love pushing my body. I love being in the mountains and pushing hard. And so yeah, I think sort of not knowing whether that was all going to be possible again, that's probably been the hardest part of the whole kind of process, is just having something that's been such a massive part of sort of me and who I am and what I love to do, and kind of just being worried that that's going to be taken away at any given time.
The last long run in Aotearoa, New Zealand is done, so I ended up being just over 23k, 1300 metres of elevation gain, about 2 hours 40, so really stoked to get that last long run in. And yeah, as I said earlier, felt really good today. Definitely a lot better than previous long runs. Yeah, whether it's just obviously a combination of getting fitter and stronger, but yeah, things are really starting to feel like they're clicking now. So yeah, a couple of days time, Tuesday, jumping on a plane, heading over to Europe, getting ready for Verbier by UTMB in about 2 weeks' time.
I think to be honest, I think what keeps me going mentally throughout this whole process is just those little either milestones or little moments where I have when I am out running, or I do make a little progression, and it just feels good. It feels like I'm getting closer back to being my old self again. And then naturally, as I've gotten running more and I'm able to run more, and the runs went from being on flat terrain to then all of a sudden I'm allowed to run on the trails a little bit, and then all of a sudden I'm allowed to run for an hour and a half or 2 hours or 2.5 hours and just be more in the environment. And so the more that I'm doing that, now the fire's really starting to burn for things that are going to come moving forward, and that's race wise, adventure wise, definitely realistic in the sense that I'm not expecting anything kind of too big this year. This is going to be a recovery year, as much as I want to be at my 100% absolute best standing on start lines racing. It's just not going to happen this year because of the injury. The way things are going, they are building nicely, and so I'm sort of hoping that if I can just keep consistent and keep doing all the things that I need to do, I'm going to end up being, at a point towards the end of the year where I can hopefully be standing on a start line and just with more of a kind of race mindset than a completion, let's just finish kind of mindset. Because I sort of feel, and I guess I am kind of proud of myself, the way that I've sort of conducted myself and things that I've done over the last 5 to 6 months, because it has just been all about what can I do to make things better, what can I do to get back to where I want to be, and that's been strength training, turning up at 7 a.m. to IHF to do a yoga mobility class, and just doing all the small things that I need to do to kind of get back to where I want to be. I guess a positive reason for some of the weight gain, and the reason why now I'm still carrying definitely more weight than I would normally, is because of all the strength training that I've been doing. And so it's still, I guess, because of where I'm at, it still is a little bit of the unknown. I don't know what my optimal race weight is going to be moving forward. It is going to be different to what it has been in previous years, purely just because I'm doing 2 to 3 times strength training every week now, and I'm feeling so much stronger than I've ever felt. It's kind of exciting on one hand to sort of combine that strength with the cardiovascular kind of fitness that I know that I can get based off what I've had in the past. But the kind of the version of me that's going to be standing on start lines moving forward, is going to be slightly heavier than maybe what I've been before. But also, sort of, I'm trying to sort of look at it from a perspective of the races that I'm really going to be focusing on as an athlete, and some of the kind of adventures and runs that I want to do as an athlete moving forward. They are going to lean more towards just being stronger and being more durable, being more resilient. I'm not looking to go to 21k trail races where you have to be absolutely as fast as possible, and so Verbier is going to be a step up and then some. It's at the end of the day, it's 43k with 3,200 meters of elevation gain. And so it's going to be a big old day out. It is just going to be a big day out, and I'm just going to try and enjoy it as much as I possibly can. It is going to hurt, and it's going to be really, really tough. But the one kind of good thing, I guess, is because of the amount of elevation gain, and also because of the altitude that the race is run at, naturally, even if I was 100% race fit, there's going to be a lot of hiking in this kind of race anyway. And I'm feeling pretty good with my hiking at the moment, and so I just need to make sure early on in the race when I'm running down hills that I don't get too carried away trying to chase anyone or anything like that. A big part of me is like, I'm running Verbier to finish and to be back at a big event again. It's going to be my first kind of long race in just about 12 months. I ran the Courchevel Marathon last year, which was actually very similar distance with a little bit less elevation gain. And so it's going to be the first sort of run of this distance in a long time. And so part of me is just kind of thinking, just be there to finish, enjoy it. But then the competitive part of my brain sort of is thinking, training has been kind of building okay. I'm definitely fitter and stronger than what I was at UTA. I'm just sort of leaving the option open that, I'm not saying I'm going to go out there and, jump on a podium or top 10 or anything. I'd love to sort of be, being competitive with myself, and where that puts me overall or anything else, that'll just be a bonus. But I'm definitely going in wanting to experience the race, but also push myself and challenge myself at the same time, because at the end of the day, the competition and pushing myself, that's a big part of the reason why I'm still racing, and a big part of the reason that throughout this whole journey of being injured and the recovery and getting back, that's been a big part of why I've kind of hung in there and just tried to do everything I can, because I want to be able to race again. Not that I wouldn't respect a trail marathon with 3,000 meters of climbing, but I'd just be normally going in so much more relaxed, in the sense of like, I've been there, done it so many times before. I've done so many trail marathons and training with the same amount of vert and all that kind of stuff. But this one's kind of coming at a time where I've done, kind of nothing remotely close to a trail marathon with 3,000 meters of climbing, and it's been 12 months kind of thing. So it's going to be interesting just to sort of see how the body goes. I feel strong, so I feel like I'm going to be okay. But until I actually, roll the sleeves up and get in there and get stuck in, I'm not going to know. So we'll just have to wait and see.